and probably don't come to these kind of meetings in general. And that's, I'm guessing, for a number of folks are here to support Resolution 35, 2016, supporting the Muslim communities. Could we allow people, if they would so choose, to comment during public participation?
I don't know what the rules are for that, City Attorney.
Normally they would comment under the resolution. You could do one of two things. You could still allow them to comment now if you like. Instead of then, you couldn't comment both times. They'd have to have a choice. Or you could take that item out of order and hear it early.
We've already gone through that
Right,
process.
you've already gone through that, so.
If we did, could we say they could comment now or then, as opposed to now and then, or the other?
One or the other.
How do you monitor that?
Well, the same person can't get up twice.
How will you monitor that?
We have the cards.
How about we'd have no comment? If we do it now, there's no comment the second time around.
That's what now.
From anyone. Anybody that wants to speak to it now, can speak to it now. But when it comes up in the order, we close it down. Folks already have a chance to speak.
Let's just leave it, let's leave it to speak
Okay.
at the thing. I apologize. They're comfortable chairs.
There'll be refreshments later. No, okay.
All right.
So we're moving on to public participation of non-agended items. First up, Robert Shalhoub, followed by Jaden Brody.
The chairs aren't that comfortable. See, I'm a politician.
Welcome, Mayor. Good morning. Good
Welcome, Mayor.
afternoon. Well, it was morning when I got
Is that how you roll in Lake Clark Shores there, Mr. Mayor?
Good afternoon, Mayor, Commissioners. My name is Robert Shalhoub, and I come to you in a couple different capacities this evening. First of all, as a neighboring sister city, town of Lake Clark Shores, I welcome the opportunity to have any type of conversation and just in dialogue with you with regard to the intercoastal access on the Blue Way Trail. I also come to you tonight as president of the Palm Beach County League of Cities. As you are very well represented, you have Vice Mayor Maxwell, the former president of the Palm Beach League of Cities, and you have Andy Amoroso, who is also on the board of directors. You are very, very well represented, and I just want to thank and congratulate Commissioner Amoroso on him being appointed on Dave Ehrenberg's Sober Task Force Committee. The League of Cities wrote a letter in support of the proper consideration for Commissioner Amoroso, and we're very pleased that Dave Ehrenberg saw the qualifications that gave him the due consideration that he needs, and I know he's going to represent the area very, very well. With regard to the presentation that was made by Dr. Kim Delaney on the Blue Way Trail, I just wanted to mention a couple things, and then I'll say thank you very much. With regard to the concerns about the traffic, I think the traffic itself is going to be monitored by the project itself. It's anticipated that you're going to have approximately 6-8 minutes for the traversing of each boat. So therefore, if you think about that, you're not going to have more than 8 to 10 an hour. I also want you to know that the people that are going to utilize this boat lift, they are specific destination focused. I also want you to appreciate the following. The Treasure Coast Regional Planning Council has been utilizing this study for several years. And when I say utilizing the study, it's evidently been discussed for the past 3 or 4 years.
Thank you, sir. Just a few more. I'll give you a brief reprieve, I'm sorry.
Thank you very, oh, I'm sorry, you have 3 minutes?
Yeah, we
Oh,
two.
2? Do you really? Well, if you come to the town of Lake Clark Shores,
You'll get 3.
I'm sorry, I did not know that. I apologize. Please,
That's
just let me make one last two points.
Of course.
The first point is, if you have a couple $1 million investment in this project, according to the Treasure Coast Regional Planning Council, your return on investment, your ad valorem tax increase will be somewhere between $30 and $50 million a year to this area, number one. Number two, and that's found on page 11 of their report. Number two, I invite Lake Worth to send an authorized representative to the Blue Way Trail Coalition meeting. You were very gracious in providing a venue for us, and then we just outgrew it. Send an authorized representative and have a voice at the table. There's an old Lebanese saying, if you don't talk to me, I don't know what you're thinking. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Jaden Brody, followed by Karen Ryan.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to speak before you again this evening. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jaden Brody. I am 10 years old and Student of the Year for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and I've raised approximately $15,000 for that cause. Part of that money was raised at my first Putting for Patients mini golf event. I am here this evening to tell you that it is time for my second Putting for Patients mini golf event. This year is my second event, so I'm officially annual. This event will be held on September 17th at 11 a.m. at Adventure Mini Golf. One of the fundraising opportunities that I'm offering is pool sponsorships. For a mere $100, you can sponsor one or more of the 36 holes on the course. And this year, if any of you are interested in attending, since you had so much fun last year, tickets are $15. Last year, you beat the Wellington Council.
Yeah.
So this year, you need to come back to defend your title. Mayor Ann Gerwig of Wellington says that she is very good at mini golf, so you guys had better bring your A game. I will have a silent auction as well as food. I hope that you will join me at this event. Your support is critical for my success. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak before you this evening. You are all helping find a cure for blood cancer, not something to fight. Have a great day.
Karen Ryan. Did you want me to read it, or did you want to speak? Sorry. Whichever you prefer. Want me to read it? Okay. Okay. Good, because I couldn't read it.
Karen Ryan, 1017 North J Street. I'm here again about the house on our corner, 1031 North J. It's owned by Christopher's House of Hope. It's been red tagged for no permits. We have a person staying in the house protecting the contents for Chris, the owner. The windows are still wide open, no screens. They're either broken or wide open. It's a perfect place for anybody to climb in. One evening, I was talking to the neighbor next door, and up pops a head. Scared the living daylights out of us. But he was there protecting the contents for Chris. There's all kinds of building equipment in there. Guess the red tags don't make any difference to this gentleman. But it's a perfect place for kids who are out of school. It's inviting. Homeless people stay at night. It's ridiculous. And the guy at Code, I called the police said it wasn't their department, it's Code. So, bounce back. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. David Silvers, followed by Katie McGivern.
Madam Mayor, Commission, I'm running to be your state representative. We've all met before. I just wanted to come up and say hi and introduce myself to everybody in the audience. I'm going to be, hopefully be your state representative come this August. And I have a little meet and greet tomorrow at Caleros. I'd love for all of you to come out. It'll be around 5:30 p.m. and it's co-hosted by Commissioner Moroso. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. Again, I'll be on the ballot August 30th, and I'm David Silvers, running to be your state representative. Thank you.
Thank you, Katie McGivern, followed by Lynn Anderson.
Hi, Katie McGivern, 2121 Collier Avenue. The 2020 roads bond failed because it was more about pork than potholes. And the people were like, okay, tell us about your plan B, a plan really dedicated to fixing our roads. And there should have been some honest dialogue between the city staff and the people, because obviously the people were not buying the $50,000 worth of propaganda that the city had tried to sell them on. But there was no plan B or anything else coming out of this majority commission, just deafening silence. 2 years of no comment from this commission while our roads rotted. 2 years of this majority commission sitting in the corner pouting because the people refused to give you that big pork dinner that you'd been expecting, courtesy of us, the walking wallets. Our roads further deteriorating and rotting. Don't point the finger of blame at us. This is all on your heads, commissioners. So here we are, and instead of an open, honest dialogue with the people, we get a useless 200-person $8,000 survey that made it clear that unless you're white, retired, and still clinging to a land telephone line, you don't matter in Lakeport. We have a $40 million, 30-year tax burden on every resident and business in town shoved through the agenda as a consent item, and no details. And a majority commission that defines public participation as voting for or against an issue at the polls. Where the tropics begin was the old Lake Worth motto. Sit down, shut up, and open your wallets is the new motto. Ms. Tingo, our new communications specialist, is going to have her work cut out for her spinning that one. Thank you.
Thank you. Lynn Anderson, followed by Richard Stowe.
Good evening, Lynn Anderson, 2204 Lake Osborne Drive. Speaking of walking wallets, I wanted to mention the passing of Peter Tim. A lot of us already know that here. It's just a sad day for Lake Worth, and also I miss Loretta Sharp. Even though both those two were opposed politically in the city, they're going to be deeply missed because they really contributed a lot here. And so I wish we could do something in recognition for them, little plaques maybe behind their seats, you know, or something like that. About the bonds. Commissioner McVoy wanted that pulled for discussion, and once again he was shot down. And not only was he shot down, every taxpayer in this city was shot down because it wasn't pulled for discussion. This is a big ticket item, people. 30 years, $40 million. That's sad. Pickleball, well, you got rid of the shuffleboard courts for the seniors, so that might be a good replacement for us old people here. Like pickleball, never heard of it, but. Our code enforcement had a big setback today. Al Vega was fired and then he resigned. Now we have Nicholas Petrino, who was in a meeting all afternoon. He's on the firing squad as well. He's going to find out tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock after having sit here for 5-6 hours today. You know, he was elected as a union rep. He was supposed to be in that meeting tomorrow. This is on the pensions. He did speak out, you know, for the staff here at the city, for their raises and for this old pension plan. So I don't know if it's just coincidental or what's going on here, but his voice is going to be missed for the staff on this. And I don't know if there's any kind of retribution towards him, what's really going on, because no recordings were allowed, no minutes were taken, the public was not allowed to go into the meeting. And supposedly, it was some old Supreme Court ruling back in the 70s that said that was the case. So, public wasn't allowed in. Too bad.
Thank you. Richard Stowe, followed by Peggy Fisher.
Richard Stowe, 414 North Federal Highway. I am speaking about the consent agenda, the bond measure. And 2 years ago, I spoke about the August bond measure in June and suggested moving the date to the November election. Greg Rice smartly spoke right after me, or to me, I can't remember which, and said that the supervisor of elections strongly urges cities not to schedule bond measures in the or such type of special elections during the November elections. So let's set this bond measure, take that off the table for the November election as my suggestion, and move it to, sometime in the future. In the meantime, we've heard a lot of good stuff here tonight. Complete streets, Mayor Triolo, thank you. The mobility plan. Yeah, looking at ways of moving around beside by a single occupant vehicle. And yes, Christopher, I join you on the street riding, and Christopher also takes Tri-Rail down to Broward County, and I take Tri-Rail myself. Tri-Rail on the FEC line is something that should be discussed. What about, since there's such a great interest in the streets, and I personally would like to see skinny streets, you know, to accommodate some of the vision that Christopher talked about. What about setting up a transportation volunteer advisory board so we can have citizens advise on this? Thank you, Mayor Triolo, and you'll have a nice evening.
Thank you. Thank you, Fisher.
Peggy Fisher, 508 North A Street. First, some comments that were made tonight. There are lots of people in this city that ride bikes, not just a couple. There are lots of people in this city who own boats, not just the 20 people who live along the Spillway Canal. So let's don't disrespect those people and discount their input into enjoying these things that might come to our city. One of the things that is on the consent agenda is some appointments of people to boards. And one of the items has no backup. And referring back to the regular meeting on January 28, 2014, Commissioner McVory said he did not approve of the new process and was concerned about the influential planning and zoning board's members' application not being included in the agenda backup. Yet in tonight's backup, his appointment has no application. He did not want to vote yea or nay on this individual, and in fact ended up voting nay according to the record. So if you're going to want to have a position, then you need to fill the shoes. You all have a duty to learn as much as you can about what's going on in this city, and you have opportunities that we don't have. You have the ability to talk to staff, to give your input, and that's part of your job, and it's your duty to us as people who elect you. But to not give that input and then to attack people who come in here and present stuff to this commission and to the public is disrespectful, and it's not appropriate in my opinion. Neither is sitting on the dais and smirking at your fellow commissioners and laughing at someone yelling at them. I don't think that's appropriate or professional either. I just think we need to all think about our behavior, and I'd like to know what the two commissioners, Meyer and McVoy, have brought forth on the roads.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to approval of